The Galactic Council's chambers had never been so silent. Ambassador Zethkar of the Hegemony shifted nervously in his biosuit, the translucent fluid within rippling with each anxious movement. Across the vast circular hall, representatives from 47 species sat in stunned silence, their various forms of communication, bioluminescent patterns, pheromone releases, electromagnetic pulses, all muted. At the center of the chamber stood a single human. Captain Sarah Chen wore no environmental suit, no breathing apparatus, no protective gear of any kind. She stood in the toxic atmosphere that the Council had specifically designed to be lethal to Earth's dominant species, breathing normally. Her dark eyes swept across the assembled delegates with the patience of a predator. "You called this emergency session," she said, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's translation matrix. "I assume you have something to say." Council Prime Velthara, the ancient crystalline entity who had presided over galactic affairs for 3 millennia, finally found her voice. The harmonic frequencies that emerged were carefully modulated to convey respect, a tone she had never used when addressing humans before. "Captain Chen," Velthara began, we wish to discuss the terms of our surrender. A year ago, such words would have been unthinkable. The vote had been unanimous, 47-0, with Earth's request for membership denied and their planet marked for protective integration, a euphemism for slavery. The humans had been classified as a Class 7 species, intelligent enough to be useful, but too primitive and violent to be trusted with self-governance. The Council had made their decision based on humanity's history. Wars, genocides, environmental destruction. The humans were clearly a savage species that needed guidance. The fact that they had only recently achieved faster-than-light travel simply confirmed their underdeveloped status. What the Council hadn't accounted for was what humans were capable of when they stopped holding back. "Surrender?" Captain Chen repeated, a slight smile playing at her lips. "That's an interesting word choice. As I recall, this Council's exact words were that humanity would kneel before the enlightened species of the galaxy within 1 solar rotation." Ambassador Zethkar's biosuit trembled. 6 months ago, his species' war fleet had been the first to reach Earth. The Hegemony's ships had been state-of-the-art, energy shields, quantum torpedoes, consciousness disruption fields that could pacify entire populations. They had expected the conquest to take mere hours. Instead, they found empty space where Earth should have been. Not destroyed, moved. The entire planet, somehow transported to a location the humans called the parking spot, while they dealt with the pest problem. When the Hegemony fleet tried to pursue, they discovered that humans had spent the previous month not cowering in fear, but methodically hunting down and analyzing every Council species' technology, biology, and weaknesses. The Hegemony's impenetrable shields lasted exactly 47 seconds against human weapons that shouldn't have existed. Their consciousness disruption fields were not only blocked but somehow reversed, turning the Hegemony's own crews against their ships. Within 2 hours, the entire invasion fleet was either destroyed or captured. The few survivors who made it back to Hegemony space brought reports that the Council dismissed as panic-induced hallucinations, humans moving between stars without ships, converting matter to energy with handheld devices, and somehow communicating instantaneously across impossible distances. "We may have underestimated your species' capabilities," Velthara admitted, her crystalline form dimming with what humans might recognize as shame. "Underestimated?" Captain Chen's voice carried a note of genuine curiosity. "You voted to enslave 4 billion children. You decided that a species you'd never properly studied should spend eternity in chains. That wasn't underestimation, that was arrogance." The truth was slowly becoming clear to the Council. Humanity's apparent primitiveness had been deliberate misdirection. While other species had spent millennia optimizing their evolution for comfort and longevity, humans had optimized for something else entirely: the capacity for explosive adaptation under pressure. Every human war, every catastrophe, every seemingly senseless conflict had been an evolutionary crucible. The species that emerged from that crucible could solve problems that would stymie the galaxy's greatest minds, could endure conditions that would kill other species instantly, and could innovate at a pace that made their technology effectively magic. "What do you want from us?" asked Velthara, her harmonic frequencies now carrying overtones of desperation. Captain Chen was quiet for a long moment, Around the chamber, atmospheric regulators hummed as they automatically adjusted to accommodate the various species' needs. She alone required no such accommodation. "You want to know what's funny?" she said finally. "A year ago, we would have been honored to join your council. We came to you as friends, asking only for the chance to contribute to galactic civilization. We offered our art, our music, our literature, our scientific discoveries. We wanted to learn from you." She paused, letting that sink in. "But you taught us something far more valuable than anything you intended. You taught us that the galaxy's enlightened species are just as capable of evil as any human tyrant. You taught us that wisdom and moral development don't always go hand in hand. Most importantly, you taught us that when faced with genuine evil, mercy is not always a virtue." The silence that followed was deafening. "So here are your terms," Captain Chen continued. "Complete disarmament of all military forces, dissolution of the Council's authority, reparations to every species you've integrated over the millennia, and you'll submit to human oversight while you learn how a truly civilized species governs itself." "And if we refuse?" Zethkar managed to ask. Captain Chen's smile never wavered. "Ambassador, your homeworld sun is currently held in a containment field generated by a single human engineer. 46 other stars are similarly contained. Refuse, and you'll discover why humans are the only species that writes poetry about going gentle into that good night. It's because we know exactly how many ways that night can be brought about." The vote was unanimous 47-0. This time humanity accepted.